Alrighty, so I'm pretty excited at the possibilities here using traditional watercolors. And by traditional, I mean half pan and tube watercolors. I have a very small area that I paint and color in, watercolor in, so please excuse it. I can't show you everything. But this is the Mythographic Voyage coloring book. Some of you might recognize this page. And this is the book by Joseph Katinbag. Hope I'm saying that right. And I'm just going to go ahead and come down here now. I accept the warping and the puckering and the the buckling up of the paper, because obviously this is not paper to take in all this wet media. But I found that working in very light layers, almost like if I was working with an ink, kind of like an inky wash, that whole ink and wash or ink and sketch type of deal. So I'm going to go ahead and begin adding in this beautiful color. It's called Cardinal Rose. It's very pretty. And I'm going to actually blend it with a bit of goldenrod. Just like that. Now please excuse the angle. I know it's not the best, but I wanted to do this demonstration because I was so taken back by the results that that I came across on a whim here. I had decided that this page was my do or die page. You always have one of those pages where you kind of test everything out. Well, I began to test everything out with the little lamps here and some blending, and then the little leafy bits here, leafy green bits, and for lack of better words. And I was so taken back by just how pretty things were coming out that I thought, why not go ahead and have the courage to share a video, even though, it's not a professional setup or anything. So I'm not looking for, complete coverage here. I'm just looking to see what happens. I'm using the number 4 Silver Black Velvet brush from Silver Brush Limited, and that really lets me get into these beautiful petals very lightly, very nicely, and continue to work on pretty much the same blend that I did here, but I'm just using a different color, that Cardinal Rose color, and then the goldenrod. Here I used Quinacridone Rose with Aureolin White Nights watercolors. So lots of juicy color here. This is how it would look like if, you would sketch your own drawing out and just do like an ink wash effect. But I've seen so many people use watercolors, the water brushes, I don't know too much about the Tombos. I don't hear too many positive things about the Tombos on these coloring books. They're very streaky. At least my experience has been that. But that right there is really pretty, and you get several different colors. Let me go ahead and just wet a bit more of that goldenrod. I wasn't too sure if I was going to like it, but obviously I do. So I'm going to dip my brush into it a little bit more. It's really pretty. Just get some different variations of colors here, in between the petals. Not looking for anything, specific, as far as has to look exactly like nature, because I am not that person. Even with my watercolors, I've never been that type of artist, hobbyist. Have such a hard time with that name, with that word artist. but I suppose we all are, right? In our own special way. And that's looking really pretty. It has several different colors in there, and I really, really like it. It's very, very nice. I'm going to go ahead and continue working on the burnt sienna wooden trim in the background for these lanterns, little lamps. So I'm going to go ahead and just going to try to flatten it out as best as possible. And the burnt sienna is from Grumbacher. And I'm purposely letting it pull up right there in the corner because that's actually what I would do, I promise I know how to talk. I get nervous. But this is how I would naturally go about it. Not in this angle here. We all know these books are pretty big. I didn't even know adult coloring was a thing until I began looking it up. And then, coming from a watercolor background, watercolor lettering, all that stuff, I thought, why not try it? I'm not too sure what this is right here. I think this is part of the wood trim here. What would be the wood trim. But this area right here in the corner, excuse my fingers here, this would be, the darkest value if you would be using your colored pencils. And you would come out from here in the corner and, you would add your color. So that right there seems to be pretty accurate. I'm so used to working with larger brushes because I work on larger pieces of paper. The 9x12 arches, the 7x10 Beohong. So working on this very thin paper is really new to me. But I'm so glad I took the chance tonight to see if I can get away with it. And so far, I am. I'm actually adding a little bit of that goldenrod color to the burnt sienna, and we can see it right there, really pretty. And again, I'm okay with a little bit of unevenness. It is late here on a Friday night, so anything that I don't get to accomplish now, even though I'm so excited, I'll wait till tomorrow morning, God willing and hoping, and I'll be able to finish it up, I think, right here. Yep. So I'm working really, really lightly here. And I think very light, transparent layers will work best, for me. That looks really pretty. I want to just come in real quickly right here. These silver black velvet brushes, they come at an angle, so they're really good for this technique, getting in those nooks and crannies. I just darkened up that petal really, really nicely. And I can begin to do the same thing right here. Wow, that makes all the difference. These really light layers. I'm really impressed that this paper can take it. But again, I'm working really lightly. Let's come over here. Right here. I'm not that great with light direction or light source, so I'm going to just gently take off some of the color from my brush. and lightly blend that in using the same technique as if I were to be using traditional watercolor paper. And hot dog, that's good. That looks really good. I don't know if you can see, but these brushes, this angle is just wonderful. Maybe there's a little bit of extra color right here. Gently clean off my brush. This is one of the more harder techniques to learn in watercolor, a whole side shading technique. But once you learn it, you know, that's just a small variation of that technique. It really does make a difference. So yeah, just looking at this as a quick demo right here. You can add all sorts of really pretty add a bit more. Wow, look at that, huh? Very nice. Okay, so now I'm feeling pretty confident in knowing that I can work in these really nice light layers. Maybe we can add a bit more darker down here and just gently swish and sway our brush to the side right there and let that kind of just happen. Very cool. This is great. This is really nice. I really like it. This is just a great start. Bit of a variation on that. That's okay. I'm thinking maybe we can add a bit more to this green little lily pad, is it? Again, don't come for me. I have no idea. I'm using the color called Olympic Rainforest from Kim LeBeau's Handmade Watercolors. Beautiful green used here and here. So let's come over here. These folds are very helpful. So I'm going to come from the center. Clean off my brush. Take a little bit of the color off. And use the side belly of the brush. Just gently blend that out and let it dry naturally. Very pretty. This little guy right here, I used the quinacridone rose color and aureolin combination. So let's test this out right here. So continuing to see what happens here. So this would be naturally darker right here. Clean off my brush a bit. Naturally made that darker and come up from behind and just made his head pop. Want a bit more of that aureolin color, that yellow color there in the front. Certainly brighten things up a bit. Wow, I'm really impressed. Light layers is definitely the way to go. Right here, I also remember, adding more of that yellow color. I'm going to do so right here. And also back here, just wet onto dry. Because that's basically how you have to work this. At least that's what I'm seeing here. Just wet onto dry. with a smaller brush. I've seen some of my favorite adult coloring channels use those larger brushes, and I'm eager to try that as well. But you can see I instantly gave this little guy a pop of color. I'm going to come back here with the quinacridone rose. Let's see what happens. I add it right there. Because I added some of that yellow color there on the fin. I don't want to take away from that. So, oh, that is just a very lovely blend. Very nice. Very nice. So literally just using two colors, you know, two colors to just really, oh, I'm really happy with this demonstration. Okay. I'm definitely going to take the plunge tomorrow and maybe even do a little bit more recording. I hope you guys don't mind coming along for the journey, and maybe this will be the beginning of something a bit more, I don't know, a bit more regular for me, because I'm certainly enjoying it. All right, guys, I hope you're all doing well. It is Friday, the last Friday of July. Let's see, it is Friday, July 29th, 2022, 10:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A dormir. It's time to go to bed. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. All right, I'm actually pretty excited to wake up tomorrow morning, God willing and hoping, and continuing to work on this page. All right, and a quick peek at the opposite side of what this paper looks like. So for all the layers I'm adding, not bad, huh? Not bad at all. But again, I have 3 sheets of 12 by 12 between this, my page, and this next page. So this just really allows me to color with something more familiar, because truth be told, I'm having a really hard time with using colored pencils on their own. It's just, I need to be able to use my watercolors in some way. And I'm able to do the work on my own because I do love to, you know, draw my own work. I draw my own gnomes and my own little character girls here with her chickens and her hearts. This is on Arch's watercolor paper. All those gorgeous blends. Again, you can see the beautiful gold there. I'm not shy at all with my blends and whatnot. I want to be able to do something like this. Something, you know, like this on here. Something, you know, just something. All right, guys, if you're still watching, thank you. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.